trigger. That's why you're scared. You're imagining bad stuff. We talked about, imagining your daughter is not home at night and she's in trouble, that kind of thing. We scare ourselves. Fantasized experiences appearing real, FEAR. Stop imagining bad stuff. Replace it with imagining the good results you want. We've been spending all evening talking about that. Okay? That's one way to get rid of the fear. Second way is to feel the fear and do it anyway. Feel the fear and do it anyway. So what? You're afraid. I've always been afraid. How many of you learned to dive off a diving board into a pool? Can I see a show of hands? Any of you ever do this? Get up on the board, look down. Oh my God, I'm 4 feet tall. That's 4 feet to the water. That's 8 feet. There's 4 feet of water underneath that. That's 12 feet. I could drown. Your dad's down there going, jump. No. I need to go see a therapist and work on my fear of jumping into liquids from high places. When I've solved that, I'll come back and I'll jump into the water. Any of you ever do that? No. You felt scared and you jumped. And you survived. And then it was exciting. And then you couldn't wait. And then you're doing cannonballs. And you're diving off cliffs. Whatever. You're having fun. You feel the fear and you do it anyway. So I want to teach you one last thing with this. Take your hands and go like this. I learned this when I was in India. Okay. This is a little mantra. So whenever you're afraid, you do this. It's got 3 parts. First part. Let's do it 3 parts. Go. Oh. Second part. What the heck? Let's do the first 2 parts together. Oh. What the heck? Here's the third part. Go for it anyway. Okay, let's do it all together. Everyone together. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, what the heck? Go for it anyway. Very good. So when you're scared, just do it anyway. Fear is not a stop sign. It is a caution sign. Doesn't mean stop. It means slow down, pay attention, merge when you can, right? So the third thing you can do, and we don't have time to teach you this tonight, but this new EFT tapping thing we were talking about earlier, where you tap on these acupuncture points while you're thinking about the thing you're afraid of, we now can cure any phobia 99.4% of the time in 5 minutes or less. Fear of heights, fear of speaking in public, fear of dark, fear of snakes, fear of water, fear of whatever. 5 minutes or less. Last seminar I did, a woman, she was afraid of singing in front of a group. She's a great singer, couldn't sing in front of a group. Brought her up on stage, did the little tapping stuff. 5 minutes later, she's singing in the group like she'd been singing for 30 years. So suffering is not required anymore. You can get through this stuff really quickly, right? The last thing with this is ask for feedback. All actions don't work. We're taking actions. We ask for feedback. One of the actions you have to take is ask. We said, don't worry about rejection. Doesn't really exist. Ask anyway. Oh, what the heck? Go for it anyway. And then persevere. Never give up. Never ever give up on your dream. Now, you may decide at some point you don't care about the dream anymore. Something becomes more exciting. That's great. Re-vector. But don't give up on the things you truly care about. They're too important. You're too important. Whatever wants to manifest through you, the universe needs. You're the person that's supposed to do it. If you have the idea, it's up to you. God is using each of us to bring something we need. Here's my theory. Every one of you is a cell in a body. And if every cell did what it was supposed to do, lived your purpose, lived your destiny, then the human body would work. Just like if your liver cells and eyeball cells and tongue cells and lung cells all work, everything's perfect. It's when they stop doing what they're supposed to do. So live your purpose, live your dream, live your dynamism. You have many, many things to share with people in life. I have one last cartoon, a closing story, and we are done, except for someone's going to come out and just share a few words with you at the end here. Let me just get this real quick. That's not the one I want. Do it again. 255. So, you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Be out of your comfort zone. Everything you want that you don't have is just outside your comfort zone. Winners are those people who get outside their comfort zone, feel the fear, do it anyway, oh, what the heck, go for it. The rewards are worth it as comfort. Here's the cartoon. He says, oh crap, was that today? So I don't want you to miss out and become a dinosaur, right? So show up, 100%. Make sure you're on board for the best year ever. If you want to ask any questions that didn't get answered tonight, go to askjackcanfield.com. You can type in questions. You can follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Here's the final story. As I said, I will sign books when we're over out there tonight for people. Reverend Jim, Christian minister, gets a call from one of his parishioners. Says, Reverend Jim, I just went to the hospital, saw a doctor, determined that I have acute cancer, and I'm not going to live for more than 6 weeks. He says, well, we'll do a prayer circle. He says, no, I'm in my late 80s. I've lived a long life. I don't want to prolong it anymore. I don't want to be around for that. But I do want to plan my own funeral. Don't trust my children to do it. I said, okay, I'll come over. So he goes over. She comes in to the living room. She holds up a dress. Says, I want to be buried in this dress. It's my favorite dress. I want to have an open casket. That's why this is important. I want this person to do my makeup, not the funeral home, but my cosmetologist. I want this person to do my hair. I want these kind of flowers next to my casket. I want this hymn sung. I want this psalm read. I want this Bible passage read. She went on to tell all the things she wanted. She had a little poem she wanted printed on a card that people would take away with her picture on it to remember her. Then she said, and I want to be buried with a fork in my right hand and my family Bible in my left hand. He said, Aunt Hattie, which was her name, he said, I understand the Bible, you're very spiritual, very religious, but why the fork? She said, whenever we have one of those meetings down in the church where we have a dinner, and after they've served all the food and the ladies are coming by and clearing the plates, whenever there's going to be a really good dessert, they say, keep your fork. Because they know it's going to be apple pie, cherry cobbler, chocolate cake, something really good. Not like Jell-O or pudding, it's going to be something really good. So when they come by my casket, they're going to look in, they're going to go, Reverend Jim, why has Aunt Hattie got a fork in her hand? You just look them right in the eye and say, Aunt Hattie knew the best was still yet to come. So for all of you, if you'll put into practice what you learned here tonight, if you put into practice this plus what's in the book out there, get a book at some point, whether you do it tonight or not, it's irrelevant, but get a book. Learn what's in there. Create a study group. Read what's in there. Read a chapter a week with 2 or 3 friends, and then every week, do the stuff in that chapter. Talk about it. Apply what you've learned. I promise you, for your family, for your companies, and ultimately for this country, the best is still yet to come. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jack Canfield! Give him a big applause, come on!
Thank you.
Have a seat. We've got a special surprise for you. And don't